a little water, not Tim Hortons, just water in a cup. Hi, Bob here. Welcome to Bladder Health Exercises for Seniors. Before I get into the exercises that will keep your bladder healthier so you don't have to get up all night long and pee and have that incontinence feeling, I want to talk to you about that bladder of yours. Your bladder is actually an organ consisting of protrusor muscle fibers. And these protrusor muscle fibers are smooth and they orient themselves in different directions so that your bladder can stretch and shrink with the amount of liquid in there, the urine. If your bladder is ever stressed, because it's a muscle, from maybe you laughing too loud or coughing too hard, or maybe you were in an accident, or maybe you had some kind of an infection from a virus or a bacteria, then your bladder protrusor muscles will shrink. And that shrinkage will push the urine out through your urethra, and you'll have to pee when you don't want to pee. And there are exercises that will help you prevent that. So stay tuned. Exercise number 1, Kegel muscles. So you have a pubic bone in the front, you have a tailbone in the back between your legs. It's like a hammock. And those are your pelvic floor muscles or your Kegel muscles. And it's connected to your bladder and your urethra, the tube where the urine comes out. Anyway, if you keep them strong, you'll have that bladder under control and you won't leak urine when you don't want to. So here's what you do. You pretend that you're stopping the urine flow. Like, let's suppose you're peeing somewhere in the forest and you hear something in the bushes behind you and you think, oh, I better stop peeing. Right in the middle of the urine flow, you can squeeze those Kegel muscles and it gets shut off. And those are Kegel muscles you're using. Not bum muscles, you're not squeezing your bum, you're squeezing your Kegel muscles between your legs. Okay, so here's the exercise. Just squeeze them whenever you've got a moment. I'm squeezing them right now. You can't see me do it. No one can tell by looking at me. And I don't need to take my clothes off. And I can be standing up. I just squeeze them, and when it's safe to let go, I let go. So maybe I hold them for 3 seconds or 5 seconds, like I am now, and then I let go. Rest for a sec, squeeze. Rest, squeeze. I can do it anywhere, anytime. Those muscles don't care, okay? They're protrusor muscles. They need you to work them. So, that's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is squeeze, let go. 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 Remember, between your legs, not your bum. Do it 10 times. Then carry on shopping at the Walmart. You don't even have to stop. You can do it while you're moving. No excuses, no excuses. So Kegel muscle exercises. And by the way, Dr. Arnold Kagle in the 1940s, who was a gynecologist in the United States, he was studying these muscles because there were a lot of women and men complaining about peeing in the middle of the night. So he figured it out. Squeeze your Kegel muscles. Number 2, deep breathing or diaphragmatical breathing, your diaphragm. Your diaphragm is a skinny little muscle underneath your rib cage. It's kind of like a crescent of the moon. And its job is to push the organs down and pull the organs back up in your abdomen, including your bladder, so that you can get more oxygen inside you. Okay, so your muscles are healthier and you have more oxygen. So that diaphragm needs to be exercised. And you do that by breathing in through your nose and blowing out through your mouth twice as long. So I'll show you what it means. I'll put my hand on my belly. When I breathe in through my nose, my belly goes out. The diaphragm is pushing all the organs, like the bladder, down out of the way so your lungs can fill up. So I'll try it again. Breathe in. When I exhale, out through my mouth, twice as long, I want to really push in so that the diaphragm comes back up, right underneath the rib cage where it belongs. If you do that shallow breathing, when you're nervous, when you breathe up here, you don't even use the damn diaphragm. So breathe in, exhale twice as long. This exercise works really well to make your bladder healthier. The only problem is that you need somebody to do it. So here I am lying on my bed, resting my head on a pillow, and my wife is holding onto my heels at the end of the bed and lifting the legs up a little tiny bit off the mattress and pulling the heels away from my head. I can feel it all the way down my spine. We call it a leg pull. So this is how it relates to your bladder. If you have any kind of spinal injury, which could just mean that you're old and your discs are sliding in and out of place, but if you have any kind of spinal injury, your vagus nerve, which runs from the base of your skull down to your low back, it won't be able to send messages to your bladder. And therefore, your bladder won't behave properly. So it might cause you to have incontinence and pee when you don't want to pee, or it might not let you pee at all. And then your bladder will get full and you'll have to go to the hospital and deal with that. So your bladder needs your spine to be in the right position, or at least the best position for you, and this leg pull should help. And how long do you hold it? It doesn't have to be long. You can have somebody lift them and pull them just a little bit. Maybe hold them for 3 seconds, because it's a lot of work for the person who's doing the holding of the heels and pulling the heels away from your head. So just ask them to do it for maybe 3 seconds and then rest, and then try it again, and then rest, and then try it again, and then rest, and then that's it. What you should do, though, after they pull your legs, is get up and walk around a little bit. Here are a few tips you might want to consider also to keep your bladder healthy. Number 1, drink on an average of 7 or 8 cups of water a day. And water's water. Water's not tea or pop. Water's water. Number 2, when you're urinating or peeing, make sure you try to get all the pee out of your bladder, because stale pee can give you an infection, which will cause those protrusor muscles lining the walls of your bladder to shrink and cause incontinence. Number 3, when you use a tissue to wipe yourself after you pee or have a bowel movement, wipe from front to back. Number 4, watch what you eat. There are certain foods that will infect your bladder in a way that it will be inflamed, and then you'll have to pee more than you want to. And one more tip. Make sure you exercise properly. Find out whatever muscles you're working, even if it's not your protrusor muscles, make sure you do the exercise properly. And that way, your whole body is connected, remember? That way, eventually, your bladder will go, thank you, and it will work properly.